Welcome to Withdraw Consent. I'm Jack. Today I want to look back at the 118th Congress and Joe Biden administration, and we're going to look and see a lot of overrepresentations we're going to analyze, and we're going to look and see how that played out. We'll see. Like, you already know how it played out, but we're just going to talk about it. So basically, if you want to make the argument that Jews belong in all these positions because they have much higher IQ, first reference below is not one of my episodes. It's one from Leather Apron Club. And if you just are interested in facts, because he's just a fact guy, he'll just present the facts to you, which is kind of what we do here. But he's more of a spreadsheet guy. And so if you believe in that myth, you can go down there and watch his video. I'll never make an episode about it because he does so stinking good at it. Okay, let's go to talk about Congress first. Okay, here we are on the Jewish Virtual Library, and we're looking at Jewish members of the 118th Congress. Okay. So this will be over at the beginning of 2025. Okay, although Jews make up just 2% of the U.S. population, nearly 7% of the new Congress is Jewish. So this is new back when they made the article. With 37 Jews among the total of 535 lawmakers. In the Senate, the 10 Jewish members comprise 10% of that body. Jews comprise 7% of the House. 9 Jews in the Senate are Democrats. And the 10th, Bernie Sanders, is an independent. In the House, all but 3 members are Democrats. The Republican exceptions are Max Miller and David Kustoff. And I don't know who the third one is because they didn't put it on here, but you can scroll down probably and find it in this category. On the left is the Senate. On the right is the House. Okay. Now, if you wonder what all the parentheses are about, that's because I have an attachment up here that's called Coincidence Detector. And though it was blocked by Google Chrome in 2016, I use Vivaldi. So anyways, in the Senate, 10 out of 100, 10%. So that's a 500% overrepresentation if they're 2% of the population. And then in the House, we're looking at 27. Oh, 2 Republicans, it says here. But all but 3 are Democrats. Oh, so one's an independent. It's got to be the case. That's deduction. Okay. And you can see how good the coincidence detector does. It has almost every one of these people, every senator. It's missing a few like Max Miller, Kim Schreier, but they have to have proof before they put the parentheses around them, Okay. So the representation in the House was what, 350% overrepresented? Okay. Well, that's that. Okay. Now this next article is really interesting. Okay. This is from the Jerusalem Post, right? It's dated February 9th, 2021 by Shlomo Maital. And so they're looking forward at what the Biden administration is going to do, right? And the title of the article is Joe Biden's A-Team of Jewish advisors, cabinet members, and staff. Subheadlining, listen to this. It will be fascinating to watch how a strongly liberal Jewish Catholic administration operates. Interesting. The president is Catholic, he claims to be Catholic, but it's a strongly liberal Jewish Catholic. It's not Catholic Jewish, it's Jewish Catholic, okay? Okay, so now we get down to this article, right? And listen to this. As a bunch of strong, experienced team for his new administration. Among them are a minyan and a half of Jews. So minyan, spelled like this, is a Jewish word that means a quorum of 10. So basically they're saying 15 in Jew language. Okay. I wonder if there has ever been a more Jewish U.S. administration, and as well a full minyan of strong liberal Catholics, including Biden himself. Here are the 15 Jews who, I strongly believe that a vigorous American president in world affairs, spearheaded by the Jewish A-Team, is in Israel's long-term interest more than an America First administration that made the U.S. largely irrelevant in global affairs. This is insane. Okay, but now this is coming from the Jerusalem Post, so it's a fully pro-Israel perspective, which is fine because of the Jerusalem Post. They shouldn't have any other perspective. But what they're saying is that if you get America run by their Jewish A-Team, it's in Israel's long-term interest more than an America First that made us irrelevant in global affairs. Didn't make us irrelevant, just kept us out of wars, So, okay, and we're just going to go over these names real fast because I said in an overrepresentation video before, they're all the worst people except for Kamala Harris, her husband, and Biden, is also terrible. But it's going to be all the worst people. Antony Blinken, Secretary of State, this guy, oh my gosh. He's just totally loyal to Israel. Okay, David Cohen, Deputy CIA Director. Janet Yellen, terrible Secretary of Treasury, terrible. Merrick Garland, the Attorney General. This was the worst Attorney General of my lifetime, and I was around under Obama's Attorney General. Okay, Avril Haines, Director of National Intelligence. Okay, Ron Klain, chief of staff. Who knows who that guy is? Okay, Rachel Levine is the woman who runs HHS because she has a psychiatric problem that's amazing. Alejandro Mayorkas, Secretary of Homeland Security, who left the border open and screwed over our entire country. And Neuberger, Director of Cybersecurity, National Security Agency. Okay, Deputy Director of State. Jeff Zients, COVID-19 coordinator. That was a disaster, right? Obviously. And then we got Rochelle Walensky, Director of the CDC. That went disaster, complete disaster, right? Council of Economic Affairs. Douglas Emhoff, second gentleman, husband of the U.S. president. Okay, now basically, okay, let's look at this part right here. To be fair, the Trump administration too. So there's the 2017, we'll say. Trump administration. Chu had many Jews in senior positions. And then it just starts naming them. Jared Kushner, we know that was an absolute disaster. David Friedman, ambassador to Israel. It's amazing that you hire somebody who's Jewish to represent somebody to the United States of a Jewish country. It's just amazing. Okay, well, we already know that. Okay. Anyways, let's see. Steve Mnuchin, I did not know that he was Jewish. Stephen Miller, he's the America First legal guy. We talked about him on Monday, and he's a hardliner on immigration, so that's not bad that he's on the list. Let's see. I'm just going to scan down and see if there's anybody else interesting. No, not really. A bunch of people I've never heard of, lower level people. Okay, so anyways, when we're looking back, like, I even want to just reread you the subheadline. It will be fascinating to watch how a strongly liberal Jewish Catholic administration operates, okay? And the answer is, in retrospect, we all look back and it was terrible. It was terrible economically. It was terrible foreign policy. It was terrible illegal immigration. It was terrible. Like what was the best thing about Biden? What was the best thing about Biden's administration? Go ahead, put it in the comments. What do you think? The best thing. I got nothing. I'm not even being partisan here. I really have nothing. I'm trying to think about something good that happened. No, I can't think of anything. Literally, it was an absolute disaster. Now, here's a theory I have. Right, we on Monday we looked at Trump's nominations so far, and there were 2 Jewish people in there, and I feel like Joe Biden's government for sure worked for the best interests of Israel, and Trump's will too, but they did it in different ways. Biden's administration was run by Jewish Americans, right? Totally not any dual citizens in there, right? And they did what they did for the best interests of Israel. Trump is also going to do the best interests of Israel, but it's not going to be Jewish people in the government doing it. So it's going to be done. Okay, I got a couple things to say about that. It's going to be done in a different way. I'm developing this theory that if you take a like any Israeli Jewish person who's of the Jewish faith, and I don't think that there is one that is capable of self-governance. I don't think they have the capacity for it, because you look at it's all foreign policy from Israel is just a complete disaster at any time. And then when somebody comes along and tries to fix it, they get assassinated by a hardliner Jewish person, And I feel like that's what we saw in the Biden administration. They were trying, but for some reason, they just can't succeed politically at getting things done positive, And so I think when you compare the two, Joe Biden's a team of Jewish advisors, and then Trump working on behalf of Israel, but with only a couple Jews in his group, I think he's going to effectively do what these other people were just so ineffective at. They were just so terrible. And then I also think he's going to get a lot of things that are going to be positive for when I look at my kid's future, and I think he's going to do a lot of positive things for him. I mean, we covered it Monday. He lined up the people to do the thing. Now we just have to wait and see if he does the thing, right? And if those people do, I think there's a high probability. Victor thinks there's a low probability of them actually fulfilling any of their prophecies, any of what they propose to do. So anyways, that's what I got for you. Tomorrow, I'm going to do an episode about the past and future final solution for Jews. And it's from a comment from a viewer, and hope to see you there.